buddies. Yeah.
Cool. I'm Carmine. I'm a video games producer from BC in Canada, Kamloops, small town. I've been playing role-playing games on and off for like the last 5-6 years. More so a lot recently, being in Vancouver. A few campaigns, some variety of people around the table, and ready for a brand new one to start off.
I'm Michael or Willie.
Which one?
Well, they're both in my name. I work with this knucklehead and soon to be that knucklehead too, as a producer. I have been doing role-playing games for about 10 years and super into the role-play side of it, like getting into character.
I'm Nick. I'm a map designer from another small town in British Columbia called Prince George. I've been playing RPGs, tabletop games, for probably 7 or 8 years now, since back when I was in university. I love trying to do some silly voices, get into character, and have fun in combat. So I also played with a bunch of these guys and a bunch of other role-playing games, so it should be a good time.
Nice. And I am Blake. I am a programmer from California and hoping to move to Canada, and in the process of doing so. I have been playing on and off tabletop stuff since way back. I stopped playing when I was younger after a while, but I played a bunch of 3.5 D&D, and then just started playing when I came here with a bunch of people here. And I love role-playing games. I love being able to get into character. I love doing funny voices. And that's it.
Okay, good deal. And I'm Ross. I'll be the Galaxy Master, slave to this universe. I literally wrote the rule book, so doesn't mean I know it page to page, so cover to cover. From the U.S., programmer, game designer, writer. And haven't been playing role-playing games for that long, honestly. Just started in 2017. But since then, been a player in 5 campaigns and DM'd another 5 campaigns. So lots of experience. Over 100 sessions now, I counted. So
Nice.
Oh
no. Okay, so now that we're done with the player introductions, do we have any announcements before we get started? I know you mentioned something about minifigures. They didn't get here for today.
Fortunately not, but we do have some minifigures for each of our characters coming hopefully next week, so
Nice.
for our next session.
Okay, sweet. Good
I
deal.
missed I jumped the gun on that and ordered mine separately, so I might be late actually. I think it said like 3 weeks from mine.
Oh, wow.
For some reason.
That's weird.
I also have a mail problem at my building, so it might even get lost somewhere.
Yeah. Where
So
we have some
they're
extra
eventually
ones
going
that
to
you'll
get
be
here.
able to get.
If we all survive for another few months, we'll definitely.
I can bring you like a battle droid or something, Lego
Perfect.
dude.
There we go.
Awesome.
Nice.
Got nice painted figures and then a little Lego.
Yeah, right after you guys ordered them, I kind of regretted suggesting you guys should order them because it's like, well, what happens if,
Our
They
characters
die
die
immediately.
session one.
well, we'll see.
Oh,
Well, I'm
come
sure
back
that
as
won't happen.
a very similarly armored bounty hunter.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, so there's that.
I have an announcement.
Sure.
I should be starting at Next Level Games Monday.
Oh yeah! Woo!
Nice.
So
Nice.
all the processes
Congrats.
are done.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Super excited for that. Yeah.
Good work.
I'll have to unfortunately see him a lot more.
Ah,
Yeah.
Likewise.
man, it's a good thing you don't live with him or something.
That would be awful. Or sit next to him for several D&D campaigns a week.
Yeah. Ooh, got it rough.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's great news. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good deal. Okay. I think that's all the announcements we've got. So, all right. Well, unless any of you want to stall any longer.
No, I'm good dying right away.
Can't wait.
Okay. All right. So let's begin tonight's session of Into the Black. going to start with a little bit of a kind of just an overview to kind of set the scene a bit. Normally I don't go into a big dialogue, but just since it's the very first session, I figure.
Intro cinematic.
Oh.
Story time.
So, far from the core worlds, on the frontier of known space, a new system was discovered. Named after its founder, the Fallen system immediately began creating a buzz of excitement when it was revealed that one of its planets could sustain life. A heated bidding war ensued for the rights to colonize Fallen 3, where tremendously powerful and wealthy companies, known as megacorporations, submitted bids of septillions of credits for the rights to colonize. Eventually, 3 megacorps split equal shares to the rights to colonize the planet. Glasgow, the largest megacorp in the galaxy, known for making everything and mass-producing all of it. Quantium, a Quantian peacekeeping company known for their stance on nonviolent practices. And the third megacorp was the Lathalet Consortium, which is the largest Kel company in the galaxy, and it's ran by Kel nobles. So, since none of the 3 companies, Glasgow, Quantium, or Lathalet Consortium, have majority shares in the soon-to-be colony, they formed a council which would govern the colony. And thus, on January 3rd, 3106, Fallen Colony was formed. And the colony was formed with the hopes of serving both as a new homeworld for the displaced Kel, as well as a rich source of minerals and a location for agriculture to help sustain the core worlds. Fast forward 3 years. The colony is thriving and has grown from a few hundred people to a few thousand people. Many of our main characters have arrived at the colony for one reason or another. And then, one night, the event happened. One night there was a great flash in the sky above the colony, followed by several more flashes. Before most of the colonists had even risen from their beds, the shield went up. The shield was an automated defense for the colony. It was intended to protect it from orbital strikes and small asteroids. It flickered to life and sent a surge of glowing energy shields cascading down from the tip of the central spire around the nearby colony. Startled colonists rallied a quick militia in preparation for an incoming attack against the colony, but an attack never came. Instead, a sickly orange cloud filled the atmosphere around and outside the shield. The cloud immediately sent the colony into darkness. It blocked almost all light, and all communication signals were also blocked by the cloud. At once, several pilots and their crews took to their ships and flew out from the safety of the shield to try and deal with the unknown threat. These brave crews were never heard from again. After some initial caution when everyone was on high alert, no attack came, and a day passed, and another day passed. The tensions slowly began to lower, and communication still not getting through. Preparations were made to send another wave of people in spaceships out to go and see what happened and try and request help. The first wave of ships was sent, and that was almost 11 months ago. The rest of you have remained on Fallen Colony for this time. There have been a couple other attempts, but at this point, all working ships have already left. Anyone who had a ship and could leave left. But it's been very concerning to you that none of these ships have ever returned and no help has ever arrived. The cloud has somewhat dissipated, although it's not as thick, but you can still see it there. The sky is still filled with this orange dust material. Communications are still blocked. Your connection to the point, which is the equivalent of the internet in Apathetic Space, is also blocked with communications. As the initial weeks turned into months, the council that governs over Fallen has advised the populace to remain calm and that help would surely be on the way, that there were protocols in place for these sorts of things. They said that the reason that it was taking so long for help to arrive is because with the distance with Fallen being at the very edge of known space, word would have to travel to the core worlds, which could take 3 weeks, give or take. And then a very bureaucratic process of distributing resources and coming up with plans, and depending on the nature of this mysterious cloud that clouds the atmosphere, perhaps a special ship would need to be designed and built from scratch in order to help extract the remaining colonists. And then once such a ship were to be constructed, it would take another 3 or more weeks to get from the core worlds to Fallen. So that's what the council has been claiming. However, skepticism is high amongst the colonists, primarily because they have no evidence of this, and since no messages can be sent or received, many colonists remain unconvinced that anyone is even aware of the problem. Several sort of groups have arisen out of the remaining colonists. The group that does the council's bidding is known as the Givers. They were given this name for being the ones that distribute the rations, which all colonists are now entitled to. The council has commandeered most spare working technologies, resources, and food sources and claimed them for the colony, and they use the Givers as their sort of police force to ensure order and to confiscate technology and food that they claim to have been stolen from their stores. Some of the Givers are okay, but as times have become more desperate, it's been pretty common for them to be a little bit rough in their methods. In opposition to them, a group called the Red Suns has taken up refuge in by the shipyard, or by the landing zone, as it's called, where the ships used to come and land, but of course there are no ships anymore. The Red Suns have turned this into their new residence. They hang out in tents there. They're mostly formed by the remainders of a private military company that had been hired to protect some escorts to the colony. The Red Suns have occasionally had armed conflicts with the Givers. Only twice before has it ever led to bloodshed, but tensions are rising as rations are limited more and more each day. Recently, the council has resorted to even more desperate measures. Colonists are only being given 1 ration per day, where they used to be given 3. All pets have been seized by the givers and converted into a more useful resource. Additionally, medical supplies that used to be available for anyone are now being reserved for only those personnel deemed critical to maintaining the shield and maintaining a few other critical subsystems for the colony. The shield, still emanating from the central spire, which is where the council resides, is the only thing that seems to be protecting you from the outside atmosphere. The few forays that have gone outside the shield and returned have noted high amounts of radiation outside the shield that would quickly kill anyone without proper protection. However, the ventures outside the shield have been few and far between, aside from the ships attempting to leave. So, with that, we begin to enter gameplay. So, here's a rough map of the colony.
Compass. Good.
Sure. So, in the center, you'll notice the spire, which is where the shield emits from. You can see the LZ, which is where the Red Suns have kind of made their camp. There are 3 habitation units, which are essentially apartment complexes for the colonists. H1 has been taken over and is now serving as a barracks for the givers because of its central location to the spire. H3 is where many of the miners used to reside. Some still reside there, and that's home to one of our characters. H2 is home to the rest of you who are here. You can see the workshop there, which we are about to enter, and the farms and some various other things. The building labeled Star there, that is one of the... Basically, it used to be a sort of entertainment club, you could say, for the miners. However, entertainment's been a bit lacking as of late, and it devolved into a bar, and then it devolved into a restaurant, and now it's basically just a public meeting space that isn't near, well, it's near the spire, but it's not necessarily under strict control of the givers. Yes, so that is the layout of the colony.
There's PAC or PAL?
Yes, the PAC, that is the Point Access Center. So that is where the access to the point for the entire colony would be coming through. The center's been mostly abandoned now because the cloud is blocking all signals, so...
It's the internet cafe.
Ironic. The cloud is blocking now.
Just sorry, as a quick question, how long does it take to walk from, say, the north of the shield to the south? Say, how big is this? What's the scale of this area?
Yeah, it's obviously not every building is drawn there. It's just kind of a representation. Yeah. But it doesn't take terribly long. I would say it takes a little less than half an hour to walk half of it, to walk from the spire to any edge.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, depending on how quickly you can go, you could cross it in 45 minutes from one side to the far side.
Cool.
Not a speed walk.
I was almost going to criticize the map for lack of scale.
You probably should have. Okay. So, additionally, there's one other thing that wasn't mentioned in the rules anywhere. It's a new mechanic that I'm going to add.
Yay!
So, because there's not enough new mechanics already, right, guys?
We're not learning a brand new system or anything that we've never played.
Everything's a new.
So, for there's going to be various times throughout gameplay where a situation will come up, and it might be a somewhat time-sensitive sort of thing. So, now I encourage you guys to talk both in and out of character. As you know, like if you can talk in character, that's great. But I totally understand that there's going to be some situations where just as players you have to talk about stuff outside of character. But if you're discussing something that is somewhat time sensitive, as in like, you know, you would in real life you would have had to make a decision quickly. If it's timed at all, I'm going to throw down a green card in the center of the table. All that means, a green card is not something to really start panicking about, but it just means that I see that you're talking a bit, and so this is timed. Eventually, you will have to make a decision here. So, just to help focus you guys.
We're gonna panic immediately.
The orange card follows the green card, or it could be placed on its own. The orange card means you have less than a minute to finish discussing. So it means you're close and you need to come up with something. The red card is the final card. Usually this will not be placed on its own immediately, but I'm not ruling that out. But usually it will follow an orange card. And the red card means you have roughly 5 seconds to say what you're doing. So that basically means it's do or die time. Either, you know, if you're maybe you're a sniper and you're aiming at somebody a long ways away, and they're in a deal, and you're only going to have this one opportunity to either pull the trigger or let him go. And maybe the party is debating a bit about whether you guys should let him live or shoot him. And so this, you know, if you guys start talking about it, you know, green card. Basically, it means things are still going on kind of while you're talking, maybe. Orange card means your opportunity, something's about to progress. And then red means, yeah, pull the trigger or not. So, additionally, I have a blue card here. Not entirely sure how I'm going to use this, but...
if the blue card comes down, everybody panic and go around.
The blue card is not necessarily for timed events, but the blue card is for... If the blue card is played, it means you guys now must act in character. So if you've been... If the group of you is maybe in a public place or something like this, and you've all been having a great deal of discussion as players and not as characters, I may deem that, well, you know, normally your characters would have had to like have a whole discussion about this. And so if I play the blue card, that means that anything you say for the next like little while here is going to be in character now. So basically it means you've had more than enough time to kind of talk out of character. Now if you want to talk any more about it, it's got to be in character, which means people nearby can hear, or if you're on a surveillance system, you know, people can watch, things like that.
And it's just one, because Nick, you haven't played in one of the campaigns where we did that, where like, I don't know, you probably know, like the hand on the head means you're like out of character.
Oh, okay.
So that's just an FYI, because I don't think you were.
Nope.
Yeah, so just if you see someone doing that and talking in a normal voice, you can assume that.
Don't have to do it. I mean, usually we can tell from context, but
just if you're like putting extra emphasis on it.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. So I do prefer if you guys do that, just to start off what you're saying. It should be pretty obvious. If you don't do this, I can potentially rule that you're saying it in character. Basically, is what it boils down to.
Sure.
So.
gotcha.
I'm gonna try to just talk in my character voice when I'm in character all the time, but good to know.
Okay, and that's perfect. If you're doing that, then that's great.
Okay.
Not all of us are as good at voices.
Okay. All right, very good. So, that. Okay, equipment has been settled. So, now we enter Bertoli's workshop. And It's into the evening at this point. It's about 8, 9 o'clock at night, and you guys are in Ertoli's workshop, which is basically the only remaining workshop, like major workshop for the city. It's where a lot of the heavy-duty engineering work gets done. It used to be used for the farming equipment, but all the farming equipment has since been scrapped to try and piece together and make ships. So it really hasn't been used much. It's fairly, it's large because it can fit some larger like rovers inside. There's a crane on top which is used to lift up some of the vehicles. But you're inside, so. One of the characters that we see sitting around a, you know those spools that hold like wire, like the big, like 5-foot ones. One of those is turned on its side, and a group of characters are playing cards around it now. One character is a slow-moving, slow-speaking, tree-looking creature. This is Ertoli. This is basically the lead engineer who's remaining, I should say. He is of the Kel species. His face looks like a piece of worn bark, and his whole skin is woody and bark-like. You know him to be a fairly... he has one speed, and that speed is slow and steady. But he does enjoy a couple of things. One is making things work, and another is playing some Terra Hold'em to pass the time. He is sitting on a stool on one side of the spool, shuffling some cards, getting ready to deal another round. To his left is another character, if you care to describe what Percy looks like.
Yeah, so Percy is a Vatican, which is a essentially tank-born, supposed to be the perfect human. So he has quite paley, sort of green and blue skin. Doesn't look like pure blue and green, but it looks slightly different than the human pale skin. He has, that aside, he's actually quite charming looking. He has black hair that's kind of slicked to one side. He wears a pretty much like a V-neck T-shirt, sort of, but it's more in a long shirt fashion, as Nick is demonstrating. He has he has a trench coat over top that he typically uses to keep stuff in his pockets and all that, and kind of basic slack. Yeah, basic slacks on him and some boots. The group would know him as very charismatic, very outgoing, very. He's smooth with his words, so he's able to figure problems out sometimes just by talking to someone, and he likes to hang out with the ladies a lot too. So he's a character for sure, and gambling is definitely right up his alley. He also carries a basic blaster pistol with him and some knives. He's definitely not a melee type or fighting type. He's definitely one for his words.
Okay. Excellent. And sitting to Percy's left is a Kel.
So, Kel don't have genders, and they can grow themselves however they want. Tarva has grown herself into the form of a human female. Resting with a rather large wrench held up against this spool, the Kel are essentially formed of plant. So, somewhat like Ertoli, she has different almost plates of plant or bark around her, and her arms are entirely made of vines wrapping themselves and intertwining into human-like hands. Wearing a engineering kind of garb, you can think of it similar to similar to Star Wars pilot, or maybe the portal, like tank top and coveralls opened up.
Just ready to go.
Ready to go. Ready to go. And long purple fronds that match her purple eyes.
Okay, very good. And it's with a W or a V?
It's with a W.
Okay, Tarwa, right?
Tarva.
Tarva?
Yeah.
Okay.
W.
Yeah.
The sound that a V makes, but with a W.
Okay.
Makes sense.
I'm gonna make a note of that.
Tarva.
So Rush.
All right. And
German too.
the fourth player to Tarva's left is a droid.
A droid, wearing a very cowboy-looking outfit. Got a nice leather vest on, covering kind of moving parts almost on his chest. He's got a nice cowboy hat on. He's always wearing sunglasses for some strange reason, and has a metallic handlebar mustache. Then always has two pistols holstered on his thighs, and then a large bolt-action rifle on his back. It has as much cowboy stuff as you could possibly imagine. Got the spurs on his boots. Nice, what's it called? Bandoliers going across his belt buckle. Big, thick belt buckle with a bowl on it. And, yeah.
Okay. Good deal. So, Bertoli's kind of sitting back, slowly shuffling some cards. Well, another round then?
Why, of course. This will be easy. I'll win this one.
Let's do this, City Slickers.
Alright. Here it comes. And he reaches over. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Give me my card back.
Oh.
Or maybe roll like deception or something.
Yeah.
I should point out,
Sleight of hand.
you need credits to bid.
Yes.
So, I'm not sure if you guys have any
I
left.
still have credits.
Maybe I shouldn't be playing then.
Percy will give you 100. What are we betting? Like, what's the bets?
It can be chump change, yeah.
So he'll give you 100 credits.
Thank you.
So you can play.
Okay.
It's a steep buy-in.
Now you have to pay in 100 credits for your first buy-in.
Okay.
Small blind.
Are you charging interest?
It's to you.
I'll go on this. Using that as Percy bet. Let's say
You guys are using some.
4.
Let's say he bet 5 credits.
You guys are using some lug nuts and washers to basically represent chips rather than moving them around on your
He bet
chips.
What would be 5? Let's say.
Okay.
Call.
I'll also call.
Bertoli throws one in as well.
Bet some more here. Yeah, I should just put away your cards now. Guaranteed. Gonna just give me the money now and can end it a little earlier.
Bertoli's face is literally made of wood, so it's hard to read. Tarwa folds in her cards.
Would it be possible to have some sort of sound system on me that I could play little sounds?
You could, simple sounds, sure.
Okay. I kind of hum almost, or like let out a sound of like an Old West like theme of like the tumbleweeds kind of going through. And I stare at you. And I look down at my cards.
Just want to move back my little credits down.
What is the bid?
I put another 10 there.
He chucks his in as well. I'll see another card.
$200.
Should have stayed in, Cowbot.
I got nothing.
This Percy. As he goes to reach for some more lug nuts, you hear a massive explosion coming from not more than 200 feet outside the building. And the ground shakes, the whole table shakes, the spool that you were playing on shakes, and all the nuts and bolts get shaken around. And yes, it seems like there was an explosion just outside the door. And Bertoli turns around.
What in tarnation? I pull out my guns.
Alright.
Start heading off over to the
First
door.
he'll follow in behind Cowbot. He kind of keeps his distance, lets Cowbot go ahead and fully see what's happening.
Okay. Alright.
Put on the wrench.
Very well. Bertoli's just kind of slowly standing up from his chair as you guys are already to the door of the garage. And there's a large drop-down garage door that's open right now. And you can see firelight coming and lighting up the side of the nearby buildings. As you come around through the open door, you look to the side and you see where a small building stood about a half a block over. There's now a crater in the ground. There's smoke fuming up from it in a column that is reaching all the way to the top of the shield now. You can see a mess of sparks and flames and twisted metal over there. Please, the three of you make perception or awareness checks.
Hard habit to break.
First roll.
Yeah.
See how bad this gets. That's not bad.
13.
16.
17.
Okay, all right. All of you can tell that very clearly a vehicle of some sort has been wrecked here. And the two of you, Percy, Calbot, you're able to just look up and you just catch the flickering of the shield at a point up above on the massive dome that encompasses the whole colony. And so you immediately connect the two and realize whatever crashed here just came down through the shield right there. The shield has reformed and seems to be okay.
Tarwa, this is some parts we should get this quick.
Ship?
Yeah.
Probably.
Alright. Let's
Whoever's
go.
in there is dead, probably.
Okay, all right. So the three of you start running over, and you can see there's a couple other people that are standing in the street as you guys jog over.
We gotta get there before the gifters.
I will, as we're kind of jogging over, start pointing my guns at the people that are around, kind of keeping them off.
Okay, all right.
Calbot, no need to get too excited there.
Sorry. No. Twirl them and toss them.
Nothing to see here, everyone. We're just, it's one of our tests, you know. We were just testing out a new ship, and it did not work.
Oh shit! This ship just crashed into that building.
Well, we sent it up a day ago. Kind of just, it's like a robot. We kind of, almost like Calbot.
Roll a leadership check with disadvantage.
Bad lie.
Actually, sorry, this is deception.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, we can tell you that out. Okay. That's not that bad. Lewis
Good.
is, what's my leadership?
No deception.
Or deception?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is even better. 16.
You're able to slow down their rapid approach to the craft, but none of them truly believe that this was planned.
Yeah.
But they are more cautious now as they're approaching, as they're not quite sure what's going on.
I'll give you a look and kind of have my hands next to my pistols and say, "Give the word, Hoss."
Okay, just calm down. Percy will approach the craft.
As the three of you get closer to the edge of where this crater is, you get a better view of the shuttle. It is a mess of twisted, melted, bent metal. You can recognize parts of what would be a spaceship. You can see a fender from an engine. You can see controls, busted consoles here and there, almost completely destroyed from the impact of landing. Amongst the debris, you can see a couple of things. One is you notice that here and there are pools of a pink liquid that are on the ground that seem to be oozing out from the wreck of this vessel. And among one such pool is is a very worn character.
So in the pool of this sort of nutrient liquid, you can tell that there's a battered suit of Soza battle armor. It's sort of black with red highlights, very sleek, but you can tell it's seen a lot of action. There's a lot of sort of dings and scrapes and like a large sort of gash down the center where you can tell it sort of opens up to reveal the creature that resides inside. Its weapons are sort of scattered around, and there's a lot of sort of sparks flying off of little bits of the armor, and you can tell it's sort of trying to move around, but things are not looking too hot, as it were.
Indeed. So you see this Soza, and just to be clear, a Soza is like a jellyfish type creature inside a mechanical walker that they usually build themselves or inherit from their family to walk around. So you guys see what is clearly a Soza kind of struggling to get to their feet, somehow having survived the crash.
Would I recognize a Soza?
Yes, you would. Very distinct armor, and yes, so
Percy. Yeah, I'd say like once he notices this, he'd kind of like come to a stop and like pause for a moment. Get him.
We got a jelly here. Cowbot, help me.
Start going to pick him up.
Okay,
Percy,
so
try to help out as much as
you guys go kind of wading through the debris and avoiding some of the small fires that are still burning here and there, and you reach out to Anso and kind of help him to his right. You can see that one of his legs appears on his mech is broken right now, and you're able to find the part that's been broken off, but so your movement speed will be halved until you can get that repaired. The armor is beat up, but it seems like the liquid that you were floating around in. Soza ships really don't have any need for corridors filled with oxygen because they don't need that. So oftentimes Soza vessels, if it's not intended to have any other species on board, will just be full of a nutrient liquid that they can survive in. And so this liquid also has an added benefit of being a bit of a shock absorber when it receives kinetic impacts. So, yes.
Can I, in my armor, I'm going to do an analysis of my suit real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just a quick diagnostic. What's working, what's not.
Okay. Your shield points have been reduced to 0, but the shield system does not appear to be broken, so it should regenerate given enough time. Your left leg is broken. No bleeding's coming from below the knee. Other than that, you seem to be functional. Some of your weapons are not in their equipped slots.
Right.
But as you glance around, you can see them nearby. So, yeah.
I grab one of my pistols real quick.
Sure.
I point it at Calvin.
Okay.
Whoa.
I got you.
First, he kind of puts his arms out. Hands up.
Kid, what are you doing? What are you doing here?
Look, we gotta get out. Sorry, out of character. Would I know that like spaceships, like if a car were to get crashed and explodes, that same sort of thing here? Would I know that?
What? Sorry. Do you know about
Like,
space
would I know if like
traffic
the
accidents?
ship? Would I know if the ship like were to implode soon, due to like?
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Let's answer this. Let's answer this in a bit. Let's get out of here before this blows up.
What are you doing with that thing?
Just
Who
look,
is this?
Calbot, grab him and drag him.
No, he wants to shoot me.
No,
I'm pointing my gun at him.
I'm gonna start pulling out my guns and pointing them at him.
look, we don't have time before this blows and we all die, and I'd like to live. So let's keep going now. Come on, look. Here, Ozzo, you walk with me this way, and Calbot, you walk that way with Tarwa.
As you guys are debating, another figure rushes to the top of the crater and looks down at you.
Train my pistol on the new person.
So you see a Dengar. They're well built. He has thick, rugged hair like a lion's mane, swift back, sort of placed back, and he has two bottom tusks, thick jaw, and a slightly curved, spiraling two horns on his head. He's athletic, pretty athletic and well built, like not fat, but like tall and strong. His currently, I don't know if you guys have seen him walking there before or not, but his daily garb is usually like heavy boots and pants with an undershirt and a trench coat on top, which he keeps open. And you see him wearing similar garb right now, but you see a lot of like patches in his trench coat currently. Even some in his undershirt. He looks a little like not beat up, but wary in a sense. And this guy usually, you'll always find him with a weapon on him, preferably a sword. And he has one that you can see slung over his back, and on the other back you see a bat. And on his sides he has like, you see a coiled rope which you can make out to be a whip.
Did he ever spend time at the Star? Percy definitely.
So, to be clear, the four of you, not Nick, but not Anzo, but the four of you do know each other, and
okay.
you do hang out. Like normally he would be there playing cards with you.
Okay, cool. This is after we met him.
Yes,
Okay, great.
He met you guys a little bit later when you guys were looking to build an engine, because after all, you guys have been looking for a way off of this rock, and in order to do that, you need to build a ship. And so when you guys needed to build an engine, Varva being the engineer, you kind of knew roughly what parts they needed, and Kamir was able to bring you to one of the few mining extractors with his mining background that hadn't been stripped and looted already. And basically the deal was, I'll show you where you can get parts for this engine, as long as I can come with you when you make it out of here. You've been friends ever since. But Kamir borrowed your radiation suit earlier in the afternoon today, saying that he had to go check on something, and so it appears he's returned.
He's a friendly. Now, if we don't hurry up, we're all gonna die. So let's just dolly along. Come on.
Train my gun back on him.
Can I, like, how big's his gun? Is it just a pistol, right?
Yeah,
I'd like to pull out this wrench and try and hit the gun out of your hand.
Okay. All right. So we will do a brawling check for you and an athletics check for you. Very good.
It's a 12.
That's a 12.
Okay.
Just testing your new system out.
So hit the weapon, and you manage to hold on to it.
Okay, now I've got to point it at you.
Can I just grab the weapon?
Well, hey now.
And not like
Let's
shoot
not
it,
do
but-
anything we can't take back.
Kid, who are these people?
They're friends, but we're all. The shit could blow up. We should just hurry up. Tarwa, don't hit him. Also, just walk this way.
Or worse, the gifters will get here.
That's probably worse. Look, Anzo, come with me. We got a safe place for you. Calbot and Tarwa, you should find some parts.
Grab my rifle.
And come here, you can do the part stuff too.
When you guys are done playing, just meet me inside. And he walks in the workshop.
Okay.
You see how Percy looks up like, what? Come on, man. Yeah, so he grabs Anzo's rifle and kind of helps Anzo in his like suit.
I would like
Get
to try
back.
and grab the rifle before he does.
Away from him, or
Before he, like, right after he says grab my rifle, I'd like to go for the rifle.
Oh, sure, Percy wouldn't.
okay,
Chance
yeah,
against that.
sure. All right, fair enough. All right, so you're helping him kind of limp up out of
Yeah.
the crater. You're just heading back to the workshop.
He's not having any of it.
I guess we'd start walking.
I'd like to take a quick scan of the wreckage to see if there's anything I would see as a useful part.
Make an investigation check with advantage.
It's a 12.
You may also roll to help him if
Okay.
since you're assisting. It was a 12?
Yeah.
Investigation, you said?
Yes. Sorry, you do not have advantage, unfortunately.
Oh, well, that's okay. It was a 19. That's a 22.
Okay, alright. So, the two of you begin kind of sifting through the wreckage a bit. Luckily, having worked with Tarva so much, you've kind of learned the names of what a few more of these ship parts are. And as you are flipping some hunks of twisted metal out of the way, you find, resting in the bottom of a pool of this pink liquid, a glowing power coil that appears to be intact. You know that this is a big deal. This is one of the core key components that you've been trying to find for your ship.
Darva, come look at this.
Go over, take a closer look. Calbot, we should take this with us.
I'll leave it to more skilled hands than me.
Reaching down, I'll try and grab the power core and is it something that would fit like in the tool bag, or would I have to be kind of holding it out for everyone to see?
Yeah, it's a coil that's kind of encased inside a semi-transparent like canister type thing. So it's about this big and like big around or so. So a little too big to fit in like a tool belt, but definitely something you can carry with one arm or what. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go before the gifters get here.
All right.
Okay. All right. So you guys start running out, and the same person that Percy was talking to earlier is now standing at the top, and he's been watching you guys. Just a human, looks pretty shabby, but most of the people in the colony look a little bit worn at this point. You haven't exactly been able to go to the mall and get new clothes, so as he sees you guys climbing out, he's like, "Hey, what you got there anyhow?"
Looks something that we could salvage. There's probably more down there too.
It's a good idea. And he starts to kind of slide his way down into the...
You sure you want to let them rummage around in here?
Let's keep going. I'd like to try and get away from groups of people before answering.
I'll just follow you.
Yeah.
You start walking.
Okay.
I think it's better if this goes to a bunch of people instead of just to the gifters, and then they don't know what we took.
All right.
As you guys are... you guys finish pulling yourselves up out of the crater and start walking. Ertoli has arrived, and he's just kind of slowly walking closer, and he's like, Darvo, what do you have there?
Power.
What happened here?
Ship came through the shield, Ertoli. Managed to salvage this. I'm gonna try and put it away before the gifters get here.
Good idea. Get it. Put it in the spot. And close up the shop and shut her down. Go back to your homes.
We also found a jelly there too.
Oh.
I don't know. Did
Alive?
yeah, they seem to be alive. Did you not see Piercy walk past here?
I don't know. I kind of got a little distracted with the crowd and the explosions and things.
Yeah.
I'll stay here. Close up shop and help you repair that jelly in the morning if you need.
Okay.
And he proceeds to keep walking past you.
Thanks, Tertulli.
Yeah. The rest of you guys make it back. You've been back for a bit. You see that it looks like indeed they were playing cards like usual, but all the washers and things have been knocked around now.
I'm gonna just pick a corner and not touch anything, not interact with anything. Just gonna pick a safe spot and go wait there.
Okay. All right. So you're waiting out in like a dark corner of the workshop.
Not hidden, like not trying to hide. People can see me. Yeah, just waiting there for either Artoli maybe to come back or Dharma.
Yeah. All right. So then, Percy and Anzo, you guys arrive. Kind of, you're kind of limping along a little bit. He's helping to carry you.
Kid, what is this place? Why are you here?
It's a colony, and it's somewhere that's away from there, so it's better than that.
But what's going on? What's going on?
It's a long story. I'm not even gonna get into it. We can talk about it in the morning. You should probably just sleep, so I don't have to talk to you a whole lot. I saved your life. That's enough. Thanks for between the two of us.
After all this time, really came halfway across the galaxy looking for you.
You didn't have to look for me. I left for that because I didn't want to be there. Here, sit here. He'll just kind of slump him down on something that he could sit on or whatever. Like,
There's plenty of stools
Yeah.
and tires.
Try to sit down, I just sort of slump off the side and crash on the floor.
Yeah.
does he look hurt?
He just fell from the sky.
He doesn't have a
No,
neck
does he look more hurt from falling over there?
I think falling off of his seat didn't hurt him as much as falling from the sky.
So Percy just shrugs and turns around and what corner are you standing in?
As far away from anyone as possible.
He's standing in one of the two empty vehicle bays.
Do I notice him when I turn around?
Mm-hmm.
Would I have noticed him when I came in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not trying to hide.
Just what are you?
Kid, where's my rifle?
Cowbell's got it. What are you doing over there?
Stay away from me. I need to be checked by Dharma or Artoli.
What?
I was in the radiation for a bit.
Are you an idiot? Come on, you have no brain. Like, I know Dingar aren't the smartest, but come on. You gotta think sometimes,
If you
man.
want, I can give you a hug right now and.
I'm okay.
come
Stay
off
over
the
there.
radiation.
At this point, the two of you arrive. You're kind of got your arm over this coil. You guys come in. Right now, the main kind of lights are on in the shop. You guys come through that big garage door that goes to one of the vehicle bays.
As we get through, I'll push the button to close it down.
Sure. You press the button, the door starts rolling its way down and closing behind you guys. It closes, and you see this Souza kind of getting up back onto his seat again, and you also see Percy just now coming away from Kamir.
What are you doing with my power core?
Your power core.
I believe
Yeah.
it's ours now.
It's the one from my ship. What are you doing?
Well, your ship is destroyed, and if I didn't take it, you wouldn't have it anymore. So,
What do you mean destroyed? No, we gotta fix it. We gotta get out of here.
I don't think you get it. No one's flown out of here and survived for like a year almost.
You've been trapped here for a year?
Yeah.
11 months.
Why didn't you send word?
No communications.
Points down.
Points down. What do I call myself?
Darwa, not to disturb you, do you mind just
Yeah.
checking me out for a bit? And you can continue talking after if you want.
Yeah, just a sec. And I'll
Right.
take the core and put it in the spot.
Yeah. So, in both of the now empty vehicle bays, there's a couple tracks where you can walk underneath, and that way you can maintenance vehicles and things. Since it's not uncommon for the givers to come around and requisition things for the good of the colony, you guys have kept to stashing your valuable items in a secret compartment that you guys installed down beneath one of those vehicle bays. So you hop down into one of those maintenance tracks and pop off the hidden panel and slide it in there. There's also a stash of some food in there as well, some non-perishables, and some water. You seal it back up and come back up out of the track.
All right. Who's first?
Don't mean to hog all your attention, but probably me.
Yeah, that piece of junk's fine. The machine, not him. Come on.
All right. Just a sec.
No respect.
Going over to the coil. You had nothing.
Bluffed. Well, one more club and I would have had a flush, but
Yeah, sure. If you got that.
You might want to be careful. I was out in the radiation for a bit. Just want to make sure before I do anything if it's safe for me to be here.
Yeah. Okay. Go sit down over there. I'll be right over.
So
Okay.
why? My parents sent you some dumb thing like that. They think I still can come back. Yeah, not happening.
Well, of course they suck.
Grabbing some medicine stuff.
What have I been doing these last 10 years? Looking out for you.
Yeah, whatever you want to think it is.
If you knew half the things, I swear.
I'm sure I know most of it.
What kind of rifle do you have? Is it like a bolt action one?
Yeah, it's like a bolt action energy rifle. Yeah.
I would kind of start walking over to you guys, give it a quick ka-chink, and then point it straight at you,
Take out my pistol.
Hey, look,
and then turn it over and go, "It's a nice rifle." If you know Percy, I would reckon you're okay. Let me hand it to you.
Don't mess with my bot.
Thanks. I take my rifle back and look it over. I do a quick weapon analysis on my rifle. Is it damaged? Is it in good condition?
Seems like the sight might be a little off. Other than that, it seems functional.
I start calibrating the sights.
Okay, very well.
I'll give it a quick spin and head over to whatever he's doing with him.
So your medicine at the moment is very limited because that's another thing that the givers have been getting. So you get what simple supplies you have and return.
The radiation was a little weird, which is why I wanted to get it tested by you first. It's not like anything I've seen before.
Did you wear the suit like I told you?
I did, and I'm sorry.
Zipped all the way up?
Yes.
All right, well,
You notice that you don't see your suit hanging up on the wall where he took it from.
so where is it?
I haven't seen anything like that. They're like black specks all the way there.
In
And
your eyes?
not
or
in
on
my
my
eye.
suit?
Oh, I'm really sorry for your suit. It disintegrates everything it touches over time. And it's weird. It starts off at specks, but then after touching something, it just started growing on the suit. I ran back in as fast as I could in the safe area, but the suit kept disintegrating. I had to take it off. I know where I left it though, so the sooner, if you want, I can take you there and you can research on it. The faster you do that, the better, because I don't really know what's going to happen.
Where did you leave it?
In the mines, the one I accessed, the ones I left from.
Well,
I would say that the two of us would have been just kind of chatting during this whole thing. Nothing important, just
Okay.
like,
quick,
bickering.
probably just getting me caught up a little bit.
Caught up on the simple things, bit of bickering, nothing too crazy that the rest of the party
Caught
wouldn't
up
know.
on the major thing, or
No, not on Cal. He
no,
just,
not the important. Okay.
not yet. He hasn't mentioned, or unless Anzo has
I
mentioned
have
it.
not mentioned it yet.
Percy has just been mentioning like the situation they're in and
Very well.
what happened to the colony.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing. Just
Okay.
so he'd be caught up, and then some bickering back and forth about them.
All right.
Let me do a quick scan for you, Joe. And looking around, I don't know if we have any special tools that could do a scan for radiation
Mm-hmm. Okay.
or something of that sort.
So you do have a tech tool on your arm. This is actually, that's actually one thing I forgot to detail to you guys. But so you have a tech tool on your arm. Basically, think about, it's essentially like a computer that you have on your arm that has some simple things it can do.
Like on the wrist arm?
Yes.
Okay.
However, yours it's not a medical tool, so you don't really have what you need to test like radiation levels that way. So unfortunately,
Something that you also probably noticed is how Percy now doesn't have a normal arm anymore. From essentially a little below the elbow is now a robotic. What do they call the exact term for these types of arms? Are they just robotic arms, or are they like
Prosthetic?
is it prosthetic in this universe? Or
yes.
yeah, he has
Good
like a-
deal of work is what it was.
Leave you alone for not even a year and you get your arm blown off.
It wasn't blown off. It was chopped off. They were just look. I pulled off. I won the game as fair and square as I could, and they just didn't like that I had an extra card. It's not a big deal, but they made it a big
Cheating
deal.
at cards, get your arm cut off. You reckless kid.
It's how you have to survive.
It's at least one ration down here.
Now, shouldn't we like hide him somewhere?
It's at this moment that an explosion happens outside. You're guessing from the same place where the ship landed, and you hear one explosion, and then a couple more cascading explosions coming out of that. It rocks. The ceiling lights that are hanging there shake around a bit after this explosion. You can hear some people scream from out in the streets.
What was on your ship, Jelly?
Oh, a couple missile pods, some light phaser armaments, a bit of sublight fuel,
Look, we should hide him somewhere because last thing I imagine the givers want is to have another mouth to feed. Not that you really eat, but as much
Well, they
as
suddenly have less mouths to feed.
we told them it was going to blow up.
Guess you weren't kidding about my ship's not getting out of there.
So now we have a power core.
Oh, thanks for finding it anyway. I guess that's probably for the best. So what's the plan here? How are we getting off this rock? You guys must, you guys look like you've been building something in here.
Well, this is a workshop. We build a lot of things. Kamir, you look fine. You're not disintegrated, so I assume the radiation didn't get to you.
Radiation? What do you mean?
You just went through a thick cloud of it.
Is that not just the atmosphere of this planet?
Nope.
Oh.
So your memory is it's definitely a bit fuzzy right now after sustaining a colossal fall. Really, the last thing you can recall in vivid detail is you were a little less than a week away from arriving to Fallen, and then after that, like you just woke up and you were in a crater with your burning ship around you, and Percy was standing right in front of you. That's for the moment. That's what you can remember, but more pieces may come back to you.
All right. I guess internally, so without like using my vocalizer thing, I'm gonna say internal memory banks, access heart files, file assassin droid. And I'm gonna sort of call up some images of that particular instance, and then look over at this thing and just do a little image comparison here. Is this the same droid?
This is identical. Seems to have adopted a couple rural characteristics in the meantime, but seems a little worn. Seems like the same one. The way to know for sure would be to check the serial number on that's basically imprinted on a panel on the back of his head.
Right. Okay.
Would we see this, or is this just all stuff that he would only see? Like, would we
Just
see him
him.
pulling a bunch? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all this sort of computer advisory stuff. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna attempt to stand up off the floor.
Okay.
Can I still kind of walk around, or?
Yeah, you're basically just like hobbling around at half speed. So yeah.
All right. And, you droid, get over here.
All right.
I sort of have one hand kind of resting by my hip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's your designation?
Designation C413.
Do I recognize this?
I don't remember the number that I used.
Yeah. You
Probably write that down.
You do. C2319. It's the same serial number.
I pull my blaster and put it to its head. And what's your primary directive?
Hey,
I'm
Hanzo,
here
what are you
to
doing?
farm. I'm here to help Tarva.
Farm.
Why do you have a gun to Calot's head? Look, he's
Recall
just
primary programming.
Error. Data corrupted.
I sort of take my pistol away and
Do you have
What's
a
up with
problem
you?
with my droid?
your droid.
Yeah.
Wait, what were you doing here?
I had this one delivered from the core world to help with farming.
He's the thing I shipped out here. It's the reason I'm here. Before I got my arm chopped off.
Oh no. Oh.
Is
So
Sounds like you got a case of mistaken identity, sir.
you remember not even like 5 minutes ago when I said that there was a lot that you just don't even realize.
Sure.
Yeah, you, yeah. So there was this fun time a couple of years ago where, you were almost assassinated. You know that?
Please, like, you're just trying to make yourself feel better. I get it. It's okay. You
By
used to be
this.
a cool thing. Yeah. No, not Cowbot. He's harmless.
I
Cowbot,
think
show
you might have hit
show
your
him
head.
how harmful you are.
What do you mean?
Cowbot would.
I'm gonna.
Cowbot could perceive that however he wanted. Percy was being sarcastic. But
Whether you're looking towards me for directive or not,
I would be looking directly at you.
I'll point at the cans up on the side, up on the side of.
Pull it out and 6-shooter it straight at him.
Okay. All right.
That's not what I meant. But he's harmless.
Was it just like perfect, accurate shots, whatever?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Not what I meant.
You see
Look,
that?
he's
You
harmless.
see that?
He's the reason I'm still alive. I would have bled out in an alley.
He's the reason you almost died, kid.
No,
You must have hit your head weird when you landed.
CB brought Piercy to the shop and we fixed up his arm.
I found him in the alleyway after he had.
You've been getting taken care of by the droid sent to assassinate you for a year.
Look,
He's been being taken care of by me.
Look, I don't know what your confusion is here. All farming droids are equipped with weapon training.
I'm not laughing at character again.
So, Anzo, you remember, kind of, as these image files are coming up for you, you recall that when you disabled this droid, not too terribly long ago, honestly, about, a couple of years ago, not too long, there was an illegal chip that had been installed into him, which, because, droids are not allowed to be made with assassination protocols, but there was like an aftermarket chip that had been added, which you removed in order to kind of, eliminate the threat. So, a if you wanted to be certain that he still didn't have that chip, you could, potentially, bust him open and take
Check
a look.
it out. Yeah. What would I have to open? Like, is there some sort of paneling somewhere?
Yeah, there's a paneling basically like right here that he can open himself or not. When he's powered, it basically has to be up to him to open that up. But if he falls under, then
I'm just gonna keep that tucked in my.
Okay.
In your jelly.
Yeah. Tucked in my flagella for now.
Yeah.
All right.
All right then.
Okay.
Well, we've done enough talking. How far do you think the suit is? Was it already gone by the time?
I managed to reach.
You hear some hammering coming from the garage door that you closed.
Who would that be?
Not long ago.
And Percy starts pointing at Anzo to get into like a little back area.
You get in. We take
Just
care
a
of this.
second, Ertoli.
All right. I'm gonna.
Yeah, my
I'm gonna-
name ain't Artoli.
I'm gonna go into wherever they're telling me to go, and I'm gonna take out my sniper rifle and train it at the door.
Givers, open up. Heard some shooting in here.
Oh, that was just CB, and I'll go to the door. Sorry, for this door, is there like a small door, or is it only the big one?
They're pounding on the big garage door. There is a personnel door to the side of it.
Percy would, sorry.
Yeah,
Oh, so
Percy
they're
would kinda
pounding
like-
on the personnel door?
they're pounding on the big garage door right now.
So I'll go to the personnel door.
Alright, so you're heading there. What are the
Let's
rest
say
of
Percy was gonna like
I will
come
head
with
with
you,
him.
and he was gonna kind of fall in behind you and be like,
Oh no, I'm going with Darva.
"Let me handle this."
Percy, you just make it worse. Let me just go and talk with them.
No,
it wasn't
you
a
won't
big
make it any
problem,
better.
anyways.
I'll go make sure Anzo doesn't do anything stupid.
Thank you. I don't know if there was leading it or not, but I'll be there to talk if I need to.
Percy kind of come,
You're going to the doorway.
Yeah.
Doorway.
and then
Doorway.
Percy's heading to the back room where Anzo is, and once he saw him with a sniper rifle drawn, he'd be like, "Put it down.
Why are
Put it
we?
down.
Who are these people? Why are we hiding?
It's just shut up. Put it down." And he
So-
throws a blanket over
As
it.
far as doors into and out of, there's 2 garage doors on the front, 2 on the back, so vehicles can just drive all the way through. There's a personnel door where they're going to next to the garage doors. There's one on the far side, and then there's in the like sort of inner office there. There's also a door leading out from there. So, so there are
There are other exits.
yeah.
Oh.
yeah, there's exits.
I didn't realize that. Are we? So we're close to one of those exits then?
If you're in the office, there's an exit going out the back right there.
Okay. Percy would kind of like instead of telling him to get down, disregard that. Didn't realize there's an exit there. He would have just like told him to stand next to that door. Just wait. And then Percy's kind of gonna be on edge, kind of listening into the conversation to see if they're gonna come in or not.
All right.
And
So,
he'll let him out if you.
Tarva, you're opening the personnel door.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you swing it open, and you can, as you open it, you see that there was a giver waiting by that door. Although the person who was yelling out and doing the hammering on the door was over at the garage door. And as soon as the door opens in front of him, he pulls up a pistol that he's got.
Well, hey,
This
It's just me.
particular giver seems a little jumpy on the.
I'll kind of push Darva out of the way a little bit and start standing in front of you.
Okay.
And then I will pull my hat off and say, "Howdy, ma'am. How can we be of service?"
And the one who was busy hammering on the door turns over and he says, "What happens? What's going on in here?"
well, I was having Cowbot practice a bit for some rats. We've been running a bit low on rations, as you know, and trying to get something to eat. Well, you know, not for us, but for the givers, of course.
You've been shooting after curfew, is what you're telling me.
Well, that's when the rats come out.
You know that you should have came to the council and asked for a license to shoot after hours.
Well, I'll be sure to do that next time.
Well, we're gonna have to confiscate your weapon.
Well, I don't think that's going to be happening. You can't be coming to my land and taking my weapons from me.
Your land.
Yeah, this is our home.
This is the colony property here. You see that big shield in the sky? Ain't you that's powering it. It's the colony paying for that. This is all colony property here. It's the colony's workshop. Hell, I'm not sure who you belong to, but you might even be the colony's robot.
I'll give a look to Darva.
Sir, an extra gun is not gonna do you much benefit with the already ample weapons that you might have. Might help us defend the colony if ever needed.
You want to add your sword to the pile?
No.
Keep out of it, Dingar. Now we'll be taking one of your pistols. Or you can come with us to Spire. We can have the council sort this mess out.
I'll hold out my void ray.
Okay? He reaches over, takes it, hooks it over in a bit.
Did you see what was going on with the explosions over there?
Yeah, we came to investigate it. That's why we're over here. We heard some shooting. Didn't you hear the explosion? Didn't you go look?
Definitely wanted to go look, but as we were going over, there was quite the crowd, and we didn't want to, didn't want to cause any more trouble than we just got into.
Roll a deception check.
Say 17.
Alright, well, no more shooting after curfew. You better not see any more trouble coming out of this workshop.
There won't be any.
Alright, get lost. And he turns around, and him and the rest of the givers, there was a couple more that had been going to walk around to the other entrances that now come back. Looks like there's about 6 in total, and they're walking off. The givers are easily identifiable by their mostly white uniforms that they wear. And the white is kind of dingy, so it's a bit kind of more of a tan at this point, but yeah. So they walk off into the night, and the 3 of you are left at the front door.
Close the door
Okay.
to go back inside.
Alright, you guys return.
Once Percy hears this, he kind of comes in. You know, if you let me deal with it, you wouldn't have lost a pistol right now.
Well, they heard my voice first, and they know I go to this workshop.
Okay.
Maybe if we were at the Star, they'd be looking for you.
Hey now, Star's a wonderful place.
It's less wonderful now.
Yes, it is. They got rid of all the fun stuff.
No, okay, what's going on here? Why did I have to hide from these idiots?
They're like the... Sorry, I'm trying to think, would police be a term still?
Yeah.
Or authority? Yeah. They're like the police around here, sort of. They kind of give us...
Dodging the law.
They give us
Typical-
rations,
typical.
and we help them supply the colony. It's...
They aren't the nicest people, let's just say.
Nor the smartest.
Nor the most honorable.
They aren't the law around here. I'm the law. Pull my pistols
Let
out and
him-
twirl them.
Don't shoot again. No, please.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Make a performance check.
Natural one.
That's a
3.
2.
2.
Okay. You pull out your pistols and begin spinning them, and one spins off your finger, and you go to catch it, and as you go to catch that, the other one's still spinning, also falls off, and you have to, like, go pick them up off the floor, but then you kind of, like, resume falling.
I guess we've been doing all right.
Here's a picture.
What time is it right now, roughly?
Not too much time has passed. Probably 9:30.
Okay.
So, Tarva, if you want to check this radiation, might be a good time. It might be a little too late already, but
How destroyed was it?
if there was anything left, I would have brought it back. Let's just say.
Oh, then at least see there's some slag right now, or it will be in the 30 or so it takes to get there.
The slag was already formed, and by seeing it in action, I don't know, it might have also eaten away at the ground or done some other weird stuff.
Well, it could be good to look into.
One thing that I did notice, however, I think was while I was walking out in the open, I know Fallen is pretty reddish and like it's got a lot of dirt around, but there was some sort of smog, glittery, orangish smog all around, along with the black specks, and I'm guessing that it probably ate away at the ground and the particles were really fine. I don't know, that's just a guess, but it's something's really weird and strong.
Look, I know how we'll fix this. Yeah, I go. Where's the place you get drinks in this?
Start.
Is it the Star still? Or is it?
Star, but drinks are limited.
Would we have drinks?
No. You're 11 months in at this point.
Or is there anywhere I would know where to like make a deal to get some drinks?
You know that the Red Suns have drinks, but
That's
Red
not a
Suns
good idea.
happen to be... Yeah, as a group, you guys have mostly stayed away from them just because they are the ones that cut your arm off.
Okay.
Probably shouldn't go to them.
Probably not gonna go there. Okay, never mind. So
That was, it was months ago,
yeah,
but yeah.
there's no alternatives to drinks in around here.
You can go to the Star. That's basically the meeting spot where, if there were people to trade with, then that'd be where you could go.
Look, I know how to solve this. Let's go to the Star. Well, you maybe stay here because you're ugly and you stand out. Go to the Star and we get some drinks and make a nice deal, get some drinks, and then we just all pretend nothing happened today. Because that's what I feel like doing right now.
What do you mean nothing happened today?
Nothing happened today. I'm all for that. Who's in?
You can only run away so much.
Well, I'm not running. I'm walking over to the Star. Maybe running if I'm really thirsty, but...
I think our primary objective is getting off of this place.
Yes, and
Finally, someone talking some sense.
we will think better when I have a drink.
If you can find one.
Oh, I'll find one. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, if you find any sugar water while you're out there, bring some back.
Maybe. No one else wants drinks.
I reckon I'd better follow you.
Oh, if you can
get
find
your
some,
arm cut off again.
find some peppermint nutrient fluid, and then let me know.
Okay, Mr. Fancy. Let's go, Kappa.
Alright.
And sorry, just so I know as well as a player, it wouldn't be like weird for us to be walking the Star at this hour.
There,
Is there a
don't
curfew or
forget
something?
about curfew, though.
There is a curfew.
So we would be caught. If we are caught, it's bad.
Basically, once it's sundown, then yes, they want everyone
Oh.
in their neat little houses sorted away. Yeah.
So I'd have to sneak there, essentially, is what I know.
And see if you find someone that has drinks who's also out after curfew.
I guess disregard that entire conversation. Sorry, I didn't understand the way the world or the colony was set up, so then I wouldn't go. Sorry, disregard all that. Rewinding.
No, we're not. We're not Yeah, we're not redacting things that have already happened. So for that, just basically one of your party members reminded you, like,
Okay.
oh
Or
hey,
if you can
actually,
if you
past
find
curfew.
something out after curfew.
Oh yeah, that's a stupid rule. Fine, I'll get drinks in the morning.
Drinks in the morning. Good God.
Well, morning and night really blend in.
Disappointed father.
You've really let it slide. Ugh.
I guess we can't go to the mines as well then.
Yeah, it'd be a bit harder to do so. It's good that you made it back, though. Come
I'm
here.
sorry for your radiation suit.
Well, if something's got to go, it should be the suit doing what it was meant to do.
Thanks.
Maybe get our minds clear by playing another game of
Oh, you
Yeah.
playing Terra Hold'em?
Terra Hold'em.
I'd be down for that.
Yes, get our minds clear. I win back a bunch of chips. It's wonderful.
Lug nuts.
What's there even to buy around here?
It's more just to say I won and have chips and credits.
So full of himself all the time.
CB, can you go and take a look for Atoli?
Yeah.
Can he
No
leave?
one-
He should have been back by now.
No one thought about him as a character.
Can he leave after hours?
Well, Atoli would be.
I wasn't there,
I'm
but
somewhat of a lawman around here. I think they'll.
I wasn't really there,
They'll
but
take
I think
kindly
he
to
said
me.
that you guys close the shop and then go home. So, does Artoli live here, or he has another home?
He stays here most of the time.
Correct.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Or I put Carmi would probably would have.
I'm just concerned, though, with the explosion.
Yes.
He's not too fast.
Yeah, I think we should check out.
Understatement.
He's
I'll-
probably okay. but
I'll take a peek outside.
he's just slow.
I'll come with you.
All right.
So, Terra Hold'em.
Oh,
No one? You guys are not fun. So serious.
maybe when Ertoli's back, but you've been up all morning, too.
Yes, and?
And you could also probably use some sleep.
Can't just end the night going to sleep. You gotta end it with a bang. Drinking, gambling, something fun.
There's a couple of bangs. One of them might be around Ertoli.
There was one
A
really
different
big bang,
bang.
I remember. Access ocular logs. T
Oh my
minus
god,
5
another
hours.
boring, long, ancient story. Oh god.
Look back in my seat recording from before the crash.
So you take a look at that, and you're not able to pull up the. Actually, wait. Like basically 5 hours before you came in.
Yeah, well,
landed,
five
like,
hours
before you-
before now.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right. Okay. Roll a computers check.
4.
So, as you try and pull that up,
5. Sorry.
Tarva, you notice a couple sparks coming out from his back, and you can see that seems like the fall has damaged. I mean, aside from his leg, which is still missing from the knee down, you can see a couple sparks, and you get an error saying that you have a suit malfunction, and a mech malfunction, and basically you need to get it repaired before you can access the logs.
Right. Diagnostics didn't catch that. Oh man. Hey, you look like you're good with.
I'm bored here. I'm gonna go and
Wrench?
join Cowbot and
Okay.
come here.
Fairly
Tom
good
doesn't
at it.
roll his eyes.
Ertoli's much better.
Right. Have you ever worked on a Soza battle suit before?
Not directly. Though I do have a Soza friend who showed me a thing or two.
Right.
I'll take a crack at it.
Yeah, it seems like my.
Turn around.
Alright.
Take bandstand.
Okay. As you guys are doing that, actually, and just give me a repair check real quick.
Big money. Not big money.
That's 8.
Okay.
Still. But it is better if it was a 3.
Okay. So
Well, that's true.
the two of you headed out through the people door. I'm assuming,
Yes.
To go and take a look for Tilly. So you guys walk outside, and you
Are
can
there
see.
any the givers there?
Yes, not like right outside the door, but over by. Once you get outside and you look over at where the crash site is, you can see a few of them there with extinguishers attempting to put out the fire to pretty much no effect. And yeah, they've got flashlights out. They're looking around. They seem to have formed like basically a perimeter around. You can also see that there are some stretchers being laid out, and it seems like some people have been injured by the blast, and some of them are being carted off by the givers back towards the spire.
Any familiar faces on the carts?
Awareness check. You may do so as well if you like. You're there.
7.
I would actually like to start heading over to the givers, kind
Okay.
of waving them down, and saying, "Excuse me, ma'am,
Okay.
ma'am."
What'd you get?
7.
7. Okay. Yeah, it's dark in the firelight. You don't see anyone particular that you know.
How do you go to
The givers are all Kel, right?
No.
These guys aren't Kel.
No. Some of the givers are Kel. It's mixed a bit.
Oh,
So basically, it's just people that the council has recruited to.
oh. I was under the assumption they were all Kel, and I was gonna not understand what gender they were,
Gotcha. Okay.
so I probably wouldn't have been saying that then.
All right. I was curious. I was like, does he have a glitch in his system or what's going on? Okay. Oh, that's all right. That's fair. That's fair. All right. So.
Ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Have you seen a Kel around here, or Tolly?
We've seen a few. Cal. Yes.
Do you know a Turley or Tolly?
No, can't say that I do.
He's the workshop owner.
Right. Well, there's been a couple of injured civilians that we've taken off. There was a couple Kel among them.
Is there a Kel giver? Is it a giver or gifter?
Giver.
Giver? Is there a Kel
I've been
giver?
calling him Gifter just
Yeah.
in character, though.
Oh, okay. Cool. Oh, okay. Is there a Kel giver anywhere close?
Yeah, on the far side. They're not really. They're basically kind of forming the. They're kind of cordoning off and making sure nobody goes close to the
Okay.
wreck. And so on the far side of around the crater, you can see that there's a Cal giver over there.
A Kel giver might maybe recognize him more.
Well, hold on, hold your horses. Excuse me, ma'am. You may know me. I'm Calbot. If you could go ahead and round up the troops here, I need to ask. I need to get some information.
At this point, the same giver that you spoke with earlier comes walking over, and he says, "Who the heck? Oh, it's that goddamn robot again. Look, we told you it's past curfew. You should be getting back."
I understand. I'm looking for Ertoli. He was out here when the explosion occurred.
Yeah, Kel, big slow dude. Didn't exactly dodge the explosion, you could say. So he's beat up, brought him back, and we're gonna see what we can do to patch him up.
All right.
Where is he kept? Could we go see him?
He's going to H1 right now.
Could we go see him?
We'll bring him back when he's done. He can't go in H1.
Will he make it? Did
Probably.
he seem super banged up or
Look, I look like some kind of doctor to you.
not really?
I ain't. He looked like a tree to me. I don't know how he was.
Did he have any of his bark missing?
It was burnt up pretty bad. He was halfway down in that crater when the thing went off, trying to. I don't know if he was trying to steal some parts or if he was trying to help somebody out, but burned up pretty good.
Probably should have told me it was going to explode.
Well, thanks for the information.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Get back.
Thanks for your help, son. Tip my hat and we'll head over to the door.
As you guys, I'll say that you're approaching now at the end of this
Percy
conversation.
wasn't. Once he saw them conversing with a giver, he wasn't gonna stop approaching.
Right, so, sure.
And he was gonna, just kind of do. He wanted to do a scan because he wouldn't know about or totally if he was injured or not. So he was gonna do like an awareness check. He was gonna look for him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
And then if he didn't see him, which he's not going to because he's not there, that's a 22.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to try and see where they were sending the people, or the injured on the
They're
stretchers.
walking them back towards the spire.
Okay, is there like a stealthy path that he knows of, or like a good back alley route?
I mean, you know the town pretty well. You'd be welcome to, do that.
Splitting the party on the first session.
Yep.
Well,
After considering it, Percy
Won't be that split.
Because
All right.
Yeah.
And
we
so,
were on our way back.
as these two are coming back, and as you guys are walking away, you catch the beginning of the conversation where the giver is explaining to the other, well, it's just this droid named, calls himself Cowbot, thinks he's the sheriff. Easiest just to play along and let him kind of do his thing. And the three of you walk back to the workshop.
Seems like he was within the blast radius and has been injured. They've been taking him to H1. We could maybe go check up on him in the morning, or
Yeah, no way we're getting in there
at this time.
with curfew and everything.
So again, back to my previous proposition, to get everything off our minds, some Terra Hold'em. What's a Texas Hold'em?
How would you even say that?
Yeah, I'll entertain you.
Great. There we go. Come here. Great. Tarwa. Great.
No, I'm gonna.
Anzo. Oh, you don't want to play? Great. Okay, let's go. And Percy just grabs the deck of cards and starts.
So you kind of
We'll save for simplicity. I can't shuffle cards for life. So you say that you can actually shuffle cards.
Well, you can just shuffle it like that too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I can't do a proper that and then
That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
It's mixed up enough.
starts dealing it out. Does Anzo look at him at all, or
Oh, he looks that. Yeah.
Percy just kind of
Let
shakes
the
his
man
head?
play.
Fine. He doesn't really fully toss you a card. He's kind
I don't even want to play.
No, you're playing. Actually, it's a good idea. Let me take some of your credits if you have any.
Throw the cards back at you.
You're really a bad sport. Does that mean you're folding?
So, this leg.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at your circuits right now.
I bet 4.
Can't have you running away if I'm still learning.
Tarwa, bet 4.
Is there like a small blind, big blind thing?
I'd say for simplicity's sake,
Yeah,
we're not
sure.
doing a small blind. But
yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Gonna
take 2
try-
cards.
Gonna continue working.
You know what game we're playing, right?
Yeah, I'll,
Yeah.
can I,
Of course I do.
explain how my suit kind of works as she's poking around?
So you try to repair check and were unsuccessful in this attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could spend the next hour to get another repair check.
Yeah. Yes, I also have an ability that would repair things, but I don't think it would necessarily work in this scenario.
What about my
Is that for
leg?
armor points or is that for
I
other?
think it would be more armor points,
Okay.
so it wouldn't really be like repairing actual things like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I do an engineering check on my leg to see like if I would have the necessary just junk parts kicking around to repair it?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Calvot?
Yeah, I'll take 2 cards.
No, it's not how it works. You put money in the middle.
Fine, I'll bet.
Oh yeah, it's a 23.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you still have like the part of the leg that was on the ground needs to be wires need to be, patched up a bit, and it's got to be either welded or bolted back
That's
together.
I should have done that first, but
Even a fairly crude repair job would,
okay. 10.
would work okay. Kind of hard for you to do it. You're not really too much.
Come on.
I'll
You're
go
an
all in.
engineer, but you've spent most of your time fighting instead of.
I like that. I will
building
match.
stuff.
Yeah.
Percy will
But
say it's more
looking
chips
around
than
the
you
shop,
or,
it seems
what
like
you
they
gave
make
me.
these
Yeah,
kinds of
exactly.
repairs
So
on
it's more.
equipment all the time. So
Right.
seems like repairing the leg should be easy enough.
Alright.
Read 'em and weep, son.
There was a Joker in the deck. I thought you took them out.
I believe this card makes you the fool.
That card doesn't actually do anything. In there.
I will take my winnings
no, no, no.
now. What?
That card doesn't do anything.
It's the winning card.
It doesn't do anything.
Back
Got a
where I'm
picture.
from,
Shouldn't
Where are
like,
you
open-
in Texas.
So Earth that no longer exists.
Error.
He's just deliberately saying error because he doesn't want to answer it.
Oh no, I planned that.
Shouldn't
And then I'll just kind of like freeze.
What's to say? I got a pair. I think I win.
Okay, the pot's yours.
There we go. Good. Okay, who else wants to give me their money?
All right, back to you.
No one else is interested in this.
Did you find anything in the circuits back there?
Well, it likes to spark up in me if I touch it wrong.
That's real helpful. So I did a quick analysis on my leg here. I think if you know even basic repair, you should be able to patch that up pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you know basic repair?
Well, I'm more the ideas guy.
Yeah. You know, the ideas guys, they don't last too long in the repair business.
Oh, that's why I'm not in the repair business. I'm in the bounty hunt business.
Oh yeah. What kind of bounties do you hunt?
Hey,
Are you
hey,
working on his leg or are you working on his?
On the circuits.
hey, stop it. Anything that pays the bills.
So what brings you here?
We're not.
Right over
I'd say
it.
we're not in this conversation. We're like separate playing the game.
Right. Are you playing cards and working on?
I toss the cards in, and then
Yeah.
and then I would.
I would
walk
imagine
away.
you guys like laugh.
Yeah. Okay. I'd sort of point back over my shoulder. This kid. Been watching over him for 12 years now. Always seems to be getting into trouble. Waiting for me to get him out.
Well, he's been waiting a while then. About 2 to 3 years on this planet.
Yep. It's taken a while to track him down. His folks finally thought that he'd probably come back.
I would say Percy would be spending this time, since no one else is really playing at the moment. He would be practicing card tricks. In other words, because essentially he used to be really good at like hiding a card up his sleeve, which is what he got his arm chopped off for. So now he's practicing with his hand that still is a hand, like a normal hand. So he just, I'd say, spend his time doing that.
Cool.
Sorry.
See, and who are his parents?
Oh, some, rich politician types, the kind that wants their perfect kid. Politicians, how they are. They always got their enemies, always got their rivals, people looking to exploit them for whatever. So, of course, this guy, obvious target, little spoiled brat, What can you do?
Do you have a voice box somewhere in here?
Yeah, you're poking right around it right there, yeah.
Here, try and...
No, whoa, hey, whoa, don't do that. That's, whoa.
Oh, sorry.
Ah,
I was trying to turn up the volume a bit.
Yeah, well, sorry. Modulator must be broken.
Well, let's see if I can repair that later. It's
All right.
interesting.
Repair check to see if you fix that.
It's a 14.
Okay. You
One
almost
One short.
you almost managed to fix it, and you think that you'll basically need to get another little, like a spare, even just a part of a chip from some other like motherboard somewhere, just to do the final touches.
Sorry. Do we have any spare motherboards around here?
You more so have bigger, like, you guys don't do a lot of, like, you know,
The
computer,
kind of
like,
things.
circuit board stuff here. But you know that there is stuff like that. Like, there is a junkyard, actually, here. And you could definitely find it there. You'll have to deal with the people at the junkyard in order to, like, be able to go dig around. But what you want is pretty common there. Yeah.
Seems
Alternatively, you could like break apart any one of the complex weapons or gadgets that you guys have. The weapon would no longer be functional, but you could use a part of that to fix it.
okay.
Percy would kind of, as you're poking around, and I imagine you kind of yelped when you did
Yeah.
the thing. So, what are you doing over there? Yeah, he's kind of behind you, looking over Tarwa's shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to...
You're a few circuits short of a full motherboard.
Is that supposed to mean something, Tree?
Well, you should know enough about your suit that when you're missing a couple chips, things don't work right.
Well, you know, I did my analysis, and I guess, analysis mine is probably busted at this point.
I can get tons of those.
Oh, yeah, actually? Yeah, kid.
Yeah, I can trade with someone or, make a deal. And he's kind of like looking, I'm looking up because he's like looking behind you. You're slightly taller in your suit.
Yeah.
How much credits you got?
Why are you asking?
I could guess something.
Can we just, go salvage something? Wouldn't that be easier than taking my money?
There's no fun in that. Besides,
not
what
here
I'll
for
get
fun.
you will be better than just some janky old spare part.
But I just need a janky old spare part. That's literally the only thing I'm missing.
Oh, well, there's a junkyard across town.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, why do we need to buy something then?
Look,
You don't always need to
Entrust
deal
me.
with people.
I think you're trying to grift me, kid.
entrust me with your money.
No.
What could go wrong?
Literally everything.
But look, trust me with your money. I'll get you the best motherboard ever.
He just gave me money to play cards with him, and he took it from me. You can't even trust him with his own money.
Trust me, I know
I
this
won
guy.
that money, but I gave you money as
You
well.
clearly cheated. I don't know what happened, but
I had
there
a
was some
pair.
tomfoolery around there,
I had
son.
a pair. You had nothing.
He had a joker.
That's not even a card then.
That's like you make up your own stuff card.
No, that's not how it works. Look,
This
that's
kid's
fine.
been stealing chocolate bars since he was 10 years old. I wouldn't trust him with my money any day.
what if I put in my money to get the part, and then you just paid me to get it from me? I'd sell it to you.
No.
What are you even gonna do with money around here?
Who knows? Once I get off this, pile of dirt, I'd be able to spend it somewhere.
And what would you spend it on, kid?
Oh, there's so many luxuries out there. Women, drinks,
just let's say
gambling.
drinks.
Quite a lot of luxuries out there.
So, yeah.
So, we have a deal, and he kind of grabs your hand and forcibly
No.
he tries to.
He's been having a bit of a harder time with the mechanical arm.
Right, yeah. Lead poisoning, get into the brain.
It's
Haha, so funny.
not what I was meaning.
You know.
Let's try to keep a straight face. Like,
So no, you're not getting my money. We'll find parts otherwise.
We'll have to go when curfew's lifted in the morning.
Right. All right. Yeah. I want to keep clear of those. What do you call them? Grifters or whatever. Yeah.
givers.
Yeah, close enough.
Not really, but okay. And then I'm gonna go snooze, see all of you people in the morning, and jellies, of course, and hopefully we'll be up to do something more fun in the morning rather than just sit around and talk.
Why am I different than people? I'm a people.
What time does the curfew?
You're a jelly.
Sunrise.
It's so racist.
I don't know why I have to tell you every time.
I forget. I like exploring.
So, you guys, once it hits sunset, they don't like people going out in the streets. So sometimes you guys will sneak back to your hab units and go to sleep in your own apartments. But oftentimes you guys will just crash here at the workshop because there's plenty of space. So, I mean, Cowbot, you basically just lock up and stand in place and get plugged in. And there's some hammocks and things that you guys, and some tires and stuff that you guys can lay on. So, yeah, it's not uncommon for you guys to actually just crash here and wait till curfew's up.
Sit under the sun lamp.
Yep. So, I've got a sun lamp there for the Cal. So a little bit extra space under the sun lamp tonight because Toli's not back. So, yeah. Okay. So unless there's anything else that you guys want to do, okay?
Yeah. After everyone else is out, I sort of peer around. I'm gonna walk over to Cowbot here.
Okay.
This is all nice and powered down.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna well, first of all, I'm gonna inspect his weapons. Gonna do a quick analysis. of
Okay.
those.
Are you taking his weapons out of?
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab one out of the holster and just do a quick visual analysis. See what's
Okay.
up.
If I recall correctly, I am able to just pop awake, right?
So you
While I'm,
do
recharging.
go into a
Low power mode.
basically while you're resetting, but it's not as long. It's only 4 hours, right? You should have that. And so, however, your pistols are basically hooked up to your holsters. So when you kind of slowly slide the pistol out, you can hear a slight click, which would wake you up immediately. So you kind of slide it out, hear a little click, and then there you are. So he's standing in place because he's locked up in sleep mode. But yeah.
Assuming I can, I would very quickly grab the other one and point it.
Whoa! Hey! Just taking a look, doing a weapon analysis.
Oh, carry on.
Okay. And I carry on.
All right, so you take a look at the weapon. Which weapon did you purchase? Which?
The Outback Colt. Well, I have two of those, and then an Outback Eagle.
Nice.
Alright, so I sort of know what that's all about.
Yeah. Here's the shards if you want. Yeah. Pretty standard. So Outback is basically the Fringe World brand. They're meant for rugged conditions. Stuff their stuff is generally easier to repair by people with less skill. It's meant to be a very kind of. It's not always the highest performing brand, but it's meant to be something that kind of it'll last, and if it breaks down, you can kind of fix it up yourself.
Right.
Additionally, so that's part of their motto, and then another part of their motto is sort of no risk, no reward. So they have a little bit of that going on with, particularly with some of their engines. But that doesn't really come into play just yet.
All right. So did you just power back down, or are you just hanging out now?
Yeah, power back down.
All right.
Go back to sleep.
Cool. I'll reholster the pistol.
Sure.
And sort of look him over a little bit, see if he's still awake.
Seems like he went back to sleep.
All right, so I'm gonna pry open his little chip compartment there and take a gander, see what's going on in there.
Okay. If you would like the opportunity to wake up at this, then you can make an awareness check with disadvantage versus his stealth check.
Sure.
Actually, this would be a
Discretion.
10.
I think it would be discretion, right?
yes, this would be a discretion check. Actually.
So 16.
I got 10.
Okay, all right. So you're able to kind of deftly trigger this plate, and so it kind of depresses a little bit and then pops out, kind of slides on a track. You take a peek in there. You see his serial number, so it is what he claimed it was, and you also see that spot where previously there was an illegal chip installed, and it's empty right now.
It's empty. Okay. What did I do with the chip? Did I just destroy it?
Presumably, you pulled it out, broke it in half, and kind of just discarded it.
Very good.
So,
Okay. Do I notice if there's been any other modifications to any of the other little programming chips or anything? Or
looks awful dusty in there.
I'll sort of blow some air into there a little bit with
Yeah.
something, I don't know.
Yeah, not with your jellyfish.
No.
I just love that. I'm like, how are you doing this?
Yeah, I don't know. Just let a little pressure out of something on my suit somewhere or whatever.
Yeah, you blow some of the dust off. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's been any activity here.
All right, that looks pretty standard for this model of droid.
Yeah.
Of assassin bot.
Yeah. Seems there hasn't been anything installed in place of what you removed.
All right, very good. So with a sort of how would I sigh, little fluttering of my flagella, I'd sort of close it back up and sort of pat it on the head a few times and walk away.
All right. Yeah. Panel is closed. You walk off to your own little corner of the shop and lay down to sleep. All right. So with that, I think about time to end the session. So we'll pick up next time with you guys awaking in the workshop and getting ready to do whatever it is you guys want to do. So the next session, we're going to be switching from every other Thursday to doing every other Monday. So we will not have a session this coming Monday, but we will have a session the Monday after that. I'll shoot out a date in the chat and
Awesome.
let everybody know. So
Sounds good.
yeah,
All right.
okay.
Sweet.
All right.
That would be the 11th.
I don't know the number.
Pretty sure it's 11th. Yeah.
So okay, well,
Cool.
good deal, guys.
Nice.
Very good.
Nice session
Yeah.
one.
Oh, yeah.
Did it. No one died yet.